Why do people care this much? Why are black men having an ah ha 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 moment on black women, and why are black women so emotionally, some black women and some black men, distraught by what happened to Megan Thee Stallion? What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Adam Butler. That's Paul Spann.
Black man Spann.
Nargis is in the building.
I'm in the building.
She's got on glasses.
I do.
Yeah, she's smart.
She's smart.
With or without her glasses.
Nargis variant.
Thank you, Cuzzo.
Okay. Anyway, you tuned into
the MSR Pod Virtual Edition with Adam Hayden.
Virtual Edition. Yes. We, it's okay though. We here. We got a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, we have to talk about Megan Thee Stallion and Klay. We have to. It's a job. We have to. But don't worry. We got a lot of thoughts on it. Whether or not we want to, despite our opinion on the thing in general, we do have a lot of thoughts on this because it is pretty interesting in its own unique way. Right. And of course, our millennial moment of the week. All of that coming up in a few. Megan Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson coming up right after this.
God,
so unless you've been literally living underneath of a rock, okay, I'm sure you know that Klay Thompson cheated on Meg Thee Stallion. Okay, Meg Thee Stallion this past weekend made a post outing Klay Thompson. They later announced that they were going to break up. He cheated on her. The world is turned upside down. Man versus woman, woman versus man versus black woman. Apparently, Klay Thompson represents every man in the world. We all are to suffer for his crime. He is a representative of every one of us, Paul. I don't know if you knew that, but he is. And of course, I kid, but it has been a lot of turmoil online. Okay. We could get into whether it was right that the man cheated on her or not. I don't think any of us are really into that particular conversation. Nope. What is interesting is all of the uproar around it and how people are reacting to it. If y'all don't mind, can I go first on this one? Just get my thoughts out real quick.
Get it out.
Because I've been reluctantly paying attention to this because I knew we were going to do this show. This is normally something I would tune out. I promise you. Right. Mm-hmm. And the reason I would normally tune it out is for, the audience. You probably heard me mention this before, but we did a movie about the Civil War between black men and women. We've done a lot of relationship conversations. Mm-hmm. We do them on this show where we try to have like adult relationship conversations. Right. But we've talked about cheating and all this stuff. And this isn't the first time a celebrity has cheated on another celebrity. To me, it's no big deal. Right. But as I've been trying to figure out why people feel the way they feel, the one commonality in all of this that I've noticed, yes, Megan Thee Stallion has a lot of fans. Yes, Megan Thee Stallion is super popular. Yes, there are people that truly care about Meg Thee Stallion in their own way, right? And we all know the Tory Lanez thing, and Tory Lanez is a scumbag and deserves to be where he is. But I think whenever something like this happens, it kind of unearths an uneasiness or a disconnect that a lot of black men and black women have for each other. And it saddens me. And it's something I was trying to deny. It was something that I was trying to talk around. Me and Paul had a real good conversation about this like a few nights ago. We talked about a lot of things, right? But you just can't get past the fact that some black men don't like black women at all. And some black women don't like black men. And I'm not here to discover who's right and wrong in that necessarily. But it remains sad to me. I said something in the group text recently that was like, are black men the MAGA of what was it? It says something like are black men the MAGA of black people or something like that, right? And of course you see that, and that's a salacious headline, and you in your first instinct, especially as a black man, is go, man, whatever, right? But then when you look at the tweets and the vitriol that's been against Meg, right, and against women, some of the men that seem to be thrilled that this happened to her, right? And I'm not just going to pick on, there's both sides on this one. I'm going to both sides of shit out this one. Okay? When you see that, you can't, I could definitely understand how women are like, yo, like, okay, it's one thing to, all right, if you don't care, but another, like, you seem to be very happy. And I'm talking about prominent black men, and it's the usual suspects, okay? It's the Acts, it's the Whack 100s, it's the people like that of the world, right? And we could dismiss them too. Oh, it's academics, it's Whack 100, it's D2. But they have huge voices, and their voices are going to cut through and be much louder than the regular dude that's probably writing a nice tweet about how, you know, black women should be respected, right? You're going to hear academics, you're going to hear Whack, you're going to hear all of these people that seem to be thrilled that this happened to Megan Thee Stallion, right? On the flip side, there seems to be a lot of women that just seem to be taking on this fight, Meg's fight themselves, right? Acting like Klay Thompson was a nobody, and he, making it more, in my opinion, more nefarious than it needs to be. The man cheated on her, and that's bad enough. I don't think it necessarily has to be Klay Thompson got with Meg Thee Stallion so he could be a star. He just used her up. He took all the life force from her and then just threw her to the side. I mean, it's Klay Thompson. He's a NBA international superstar, right? It's just a relationship. So I get very frustrated with this disconnect that remains. And again, I know it's the internet and all that. I'm trying to get all this out the way, right? It's the internet, it's this, it's that. But you can't deny that when things happen, certain things happen, these things blow up. One last piece I want to say before I pass it on to you two. As much as I want to get frustrated and as much as I want to put some blame on black women for just kind of being like stands for Megan and taking on a fight that I don't think they should necessarily take and caping for a celebrity and all this and that, right? I don't want to dismiss that this happened and it's not the same. And it's something that did come up on High Learn. I don't want to steal their idea, but this was mentioned on that podcast. I don't want to be dismissive that just a week ago, a black woman and her family were murdered. And then another black woman was murdered, both by their spouse, right? So there's energy still online. There's energy still around. You know what I mean? This is not the same at all. But sometimes, a small thing can spark off a larger feeling that you already kind of had in your gut. And especially not just her getting cheated on and black women jumping out there because something else happened terrible last week, but how black men are responding to it can be triggering, I think. So the biggest question, I'll start with you, Nargis, and P, you can jump in there. The biggest question still remains, why do people care this much? Why are black men having an ah ha ha moment on black women, and why are black women so emotionally, some black women and some black men distraught by what happened to Megan Thee Stallion?
Yeah, I mean, I think, what's the best way to describe it? The responses kind of show what men and women prioritize in their relationships, I think. So a lot of the dialogue around women being so sad and like throwing the vitriol at Klay is knowing what Meg has gone through. Even for myself, like when I first heard they got together, I was like, okay, I see that. They're both nerds. They're both fitness. Like I hope they go to sleep every night just animating it out, just talking shit. Like there's no opportunity to cross over. He's not trying to be a rapper. You're not trying to be a basketball player. Y'all can have your own lanes and you can just come together, enjoy each other's company, love on each other, and still be great in your respective spaces. So knowing what her track record was you know, she don't got nobody. Like, not that she don't like biologically, family wise.
Yeah, but we know she lost her mom.
Yeah, so like people who, and I'm not like a huge Megan Thee Stallion fan. I don't mind her, right? But I know, like, I know these things about her because that's what's been in. To her mom. She lost her mom a while ago. Yeah, her mom was like
her manager, correct?
Maybe it's been a minute though. Maybe like 4 years. It might be longer.
It was like in the beginning, like when she first came out.
Yeah.
And I believe, I could be wrong on this, I believe her mom was her manager.
She was very involved in her
her mom was like very involved.
The groundwork for her career and everything, right?
I know that.
So for that context, her mom and then the Tory, her context, her mom,
and then Tory Lanez.
Then the Tory Lanez thing happened. Yes, this is very true.
And I feel like her and her friend like ended up with beef on the other side of that Tory Lanez stuff too. Like,
the friend kind of turned on her almost.
We went through a lot.
And the men turned on her. A lot of men, victim blamed the shit out of her.
Even though she sat on that.
Yes, facts.
She sat on that in the name of saving black men, right? So we just need to put that out there. She sat on that until Tory started getting slick with the mouth. Yep. And she like, oh.
All of that matters too.
You no longer qualify for my protection, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
All of that matters. All of that matters to this conversation.
Out of here. 100%. So, yes. So people who have been following, and you know, I did not know Klay dated who he dated until today. I didn't know what his track record was. I didn't know any of that stuff. I knew Klay be with Steph. I knew Klay was hurt for 1.5 years. And he came back. And now he's on a team that's not so great. That is, and I know Klay got a boat, his dog died, and he be in the anime and playing guitar band. That's what I know about Klay Thompson. Right. So I think women who are fans of Meg just wanted her to be happy. So because she is that type of celebrity where she shares, you know, the internet is part of her family, like it's part of her support system. So in my mind, the way I'm interpreting it. Okay. So I'm going to share the good, the bad, the everything with you, right? I am doing family things consciously or subconsciously because I want that security. I want that stability. Yeah. So it's like, damn, my good girlfriend can't catch a break. Because that's how folks who, you know, the same way everybody felt when Beyonce got cheated on, right? Like, how dare you do that to our friend? You're trash. Because look at how good she treating you. Look at the barbecue baked beans. Your parents even like her. How dare you, right? We have no idea what their day-to-day was like. We have absolutely no idea the type of partner that Klay Thompson or Meg Thee Stallion are to one another outside of what has been curated videos, whether by them directly or by their social media team. I think it could literally be insert successful nigga here. Like, it's not niggas defending Klay. It's just niggas who don't like Meg. And it's niggas who don't like Meg because you don't think Meg would give you the fucking time of day because you're garbage and you don't like women. In general.
Facts.
So it ain't like, dang, this my good bro and he's so humble. No. It could literally be insert a nigga. Happens to be Klay. What you think? Oh, so you wasn't out there getting no dick? He was probably just doing it because you just creating. And then I heard there was like a graphic of like all the niggas lined up to smash. Like now we are talking about violence. It's not the same degree of violence of murder, suiciding, or taking the life of your partner, but it. The problem with the internet is everybody got access to it.
Of all the guys that she supposedly had been with.
Yeah, and it's like, why? Yeah. It's like, for what, right? Now, the Klay Thompson PBS, that's hilarious because he do look like the PBS symbol. But to get back to your question, I do. I think it boils down to women. The internet of women trying to be good girlfriends to Meg and support her in knowing based on what we see, how invested, and we're just like, this, my baby heart. Mm-hmm. My baby heart. Like, I just want her to catch a break. Yep. And men who don't like Meg because of the Tory Lanez, because she owns her sexuality, because she got bars, because she got more money than you, because she's more talented than you, because she's on Broadway and she's acting in with daggone Daniel Radcliffe and Tracy Morgan and going and hosting the Crunchyroll and going to the Olympics and doing all of the things that you can't do because you're in a basement writing hate speech and creating gifts because you're the only one keeping track of all of the people that she's been able to have sex with, and you barely had sex with half of a person. You're literally taking all of your vitriol and using Meg as the representation of it.
Yep.
Right?
You barely had sex with half a person.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Any black woman who chooses to, any black woman who is successful by being themselves and not giving a damn about the anything, and they're able to make money from it, men have a problem with that. Like I said, especially if you're owning your sexuality, if you're owning your body, you're owning your all of the things. Niggas feel away. It's the same way why you can literally have a WNBA player who can dunk and you can't, run faster than you, shoot threes, do all the things, and you still gonna try to find a way to go on her game. But the fact of the matter is, she's better than you as an athlete in absolutely every single way. But you're not going to criticize her the same way that you would criticize Klay. Because you just ultimately just have a problem with women. So, that's a long answer. But it doesn't matter, right? Like, not to minimize her hurt feelings. It really doesn't matter. But the dialogue that has come out of it is annoying as shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's why, and Paul, I'm coming right to you. Two quick things. I'm coming right to you, Paul, but just two quick things. I do want to correct myself because I said that a whole family was killed, and that's not true. A woman was killed, and the husband killed himself. I want to just clarify that. I don't want to ever represent what happened there a few weeks ago. Two, Pete, I'm putting this personal pin in for myself as I throw it to you. I get what she's saying. It doesn't matter, and especially the Meg Klay thing. They both going to be just fine. Meg was taking shots just the other day in a video. They're going to be fine, right? But I do think the dialogue does matter. I know you believe that, Nargis. I just want to put that personal pin in there for myself because the dialogue is what could become something more toxic and more dangerous in the long run. Go for it, Paul. I know you got some thoughts.
The dialogue is the only thing that matters. I think that, like, first off, Nargis added some layers and ripples just to my brain just listening to it, and obviously that, like, I don't have a female's brain, so there are elements of it that I couldn't think about. Nor, honestly, I've never been overtly invested in Meg Thee Stallion to even know, like, even some of the background that you even talking about as far as her mother and all those things are concerned. Like, I really truthfully didn't even know any of that. Some of my first initial thoughts were just of the response, and I thought that, like, if in the least bit, it was the fact that the internet sensationalizes everything, right? The fact that now we have like this, I don't even think what we have nowadays is even fandom. Even listening to Nargis describe what she was describing, like back in the day, you had magazine publications, you had newspapers, you had certain things that were more one way. Like they sent you information on the people. You may have been able to write in and respond and do different things like that. But like now, with social media, like people are completely involved, right? So I think that, like, having that element of access, and like what Nargis was talking about, we watched this young lady cook, and we watched this and we watched that, because, like, honestly, some of the response on both sides are absolutely absurd to me. Like, absolutely absurd to me. with the men that Nargs is talking about, with all the vitriol and with all the, like to say, like that. First off, I hope that at some point, for men and for everyone, we can stop talking about anyone's body count in regard of whom and what they are, considering that, like, I don't even see, like, with the whole thing with, like, first off, I just watched Ray J talk about celebrating his 100,000th person that he slept with or something like that, having a on Cam Newton show, talking about all of those things, and the fact that we're still talking about what a female's body count is in congruency to a man, and congruency to who can get married and all these other things. It's like past lame, like past lame, and like get more than over that. But I was thinking, like, fandom is one thing, but the fact that influence, like, people are influencers. Then you have the gentleman talking, with all the vitriol and the hate. And you also have, I was watching some young ladies actually attempt to put hexes on Klay Thompson, like whether it be in actuality, because I know nothing of it, I don't even want to peer into it, or whether it be for play, but like actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, listening to you, Nargis, and talk about the investment. Now, it gave me a semi better understanding of it, but it was just like overtly ridiculous to me, and I just thought that like the fact that internet access and all those things just sensationalized it, but it does speak to a deeper thing of what Adam was talking about, and how sad it is how something of this sort really brings out and lets people know that people still sit on the side of this civil war that we talked about 17 years ago, Adam. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
So in that regard, maybe 13, but in that regard, it is sad, but it's good to have the dialogue be brought up, so that not that we can have the conversation, and also knowing that these guys have influence, that some of these women have influence, have this dialogue, because there are children and young teens and young adults being completely influenced by this stuff.
It ain't listen, it's grown men being influenced. And that's why I brought up, I'm agreeing with you. That's why I brought up the people that I brought up. And we've talked about the red pill, and we talked about all this stuff on this show 1,000 times, but it ties in, right? And Nargis brought up some really great points. You both did.
Yeah.
About how men think and how some men think. And that's real. And again, as much as it, we were in our group chat. I'm not going to put anything out there, but we were in our group chat, and the word coward came up in our group chat earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was a comment in our group chat. It was like that word stings. It just feels bad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And my comment was, it should feel bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when she said that, when she's saying nigga ain't slept with half of a woman, and he in your basement, and you mad she can play basketball, do all this better than you. Yeah, naturally as a dude, I'm not gonna see, but I'm not gonna. I think these conversations are ineffective a lot, because when they are happening, I'll be honest with you, either the dudes are super argumentative, or they're pandering hard as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why the pandering is just as bad as being crazy argumentative is because no one's learning about the men when we have a conversation. You're really just letting the woman get off, and you just kind of going, that's right, men ain't shit. And that could be true, but we're not talking about why they aren't shit. We ain't talking about why men may feel the way they feel, not excusing it, but trying to solve it, right? I'm interested in somehow, some way, having less niggas like this, right?
Right.
And, like I said, as much as when she's going off, I'm a guy. She's not talking about all men, obviously, but like, I want to defend. I want to go, nah, man, dudes. But then as I'm sitting there listening to her, thinking about it, yeah, that would be that person, right? And the person that would post a meme of how many bodies she's had, and then repost that and laugh at that, or you yelling free Tory, or you doing all this. Yeah, you are the person Nargis described. Right? You are. But there's more and more of them popping up, and it's more and more of an envy, like a built-in envy for black women. Quite frankly, it's spreading like a virus. We could be in denial. Paul, we just had a conversation about it. I called you and I said, man, one thing me and this man hate is when somebody says to one of us something like, y'all the last two nice guys in the world, or y'all are rare. I hate that shit. Okay. One, I'm not that special. Two, and Paul and we talked about, like, it's almost like a setup, because if you make a mistake, then you just letting down the world. And three, it's just hard to believe that, right? Because you know yourself, you're just a regular ass person. And I'm not saying that to beat myself. I'm just saying sometimes people say that shit. My wife said that to me and my brother-in-law, and I don't like it. But when I think about it, their experiences causes them to say, yeah, you are a little different than a lot of the dudes I know, that I see online, that I know in person, or whatever. And that is upsetting. And it's disappointing as shit. But I believe it comes from a place of envy. I think that if there is I don't call it a masculinity crisis. That's probably a really wild way to put it. But we know there's like a epidemic of depression going on in men. A lot of men in general, especially in this country, are not feeling great about themselves. They're not as educated as women, right? In many cases, they aren't making as much money as women, right? Black men don't go to college at the level that black women do. Black women are some of the most educated, and until this till Doge came around, was some of the highest earners in our words, in many cases, the highest earners in our community. So I'm going on with all these stats, but I think men, instead of being inspired by black women and viewing black women as partners, right, is saying like, yo, we won. So if they're successful, that means we are successful too. That means black people are successful. Not just black women are successful. Black people are successful. Instead of looking at that, they've decided to try to take their natural place in the order of things and try to knock women down a couple of pegs in order to establish their dominance. And I'm using air quotes for a reason this time. Okay, their dominance. And I think that's just like some weak whack shit. But I'm interested in trying to figure out how do we chip away at whack niggas? How do we have less whack niggas moving forward? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. We can keep podcasting. We can keep trying to spread truth, right? But I don't really know if it's truly effective. I like to think that it can be, right? If there's more MSRs than, Fresh and Fit. But Fresh and Fit is there. And niggas watch Fresh and Fit. Niggas cried when Kevin Samuels died. Motherfuckers is posting memes today saying we need Unc back. That's a real thing. It's interesting to me, bro. I hate to leave it like dangling like that, but I don't have I continue to be disappointed when shit like this happens. I continue, because it's the same thing. Niggas do this, and then the think pieces come out, and very smart, educated women like Nargis, like other people I know, have harsh ass words for a tribe I'm part of. I'm a black man.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that we the MAGA of the fucking race.
Y'all not the MAGA. Y'all not the MAGA. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Like, I'll add a layer to what you were talking about when we the numerous times we hear, you guys are different and this, that, and the third. It's not just for me, and I can only speak for me. It's not just that, like, I think it's disappointing because in my mind, there are much more of us, right? In my mind, and maybe in my closed circle.
Definitely not just me and you. Yeah.
Right. No, I know that for a fact. And I even know that in parts of the tribe that I personally belong to. Right. And that, and I know that. And I'm talking about in my personal family, and then the different men that I consort with. So listening and learning is very important. But of course, like what you're saying, of course that, like, listening to that, because I am an actual man, and hearing those things does sting, but it allows me to have the leverage in mind to, like, because I know how I was reared. Everyone wasn't reared that way. You understand what I'm saying? And there's so many layers to influence now. See what I'm saying? That there are, like I said before, there are people called influencers. And like, it's a part of life. As unfortunate as it may be, even as mind blowing as it is, it's a definite part of life. I was having a conversation with Kyle Mitchell not too long ago about his kids and about the attention rate of what the way that he looks at them, the way that all of them have headphones on, and the way that they don't like really socially interact, too much. You know what I'm saying? But they'll leave a place where they've been in contact with one another and then text later on, yeah, I saw you earlier, but not actually talk while they're there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But it's just like a sign of the way things are now. So that element of influence and that element of the internet is that important, even though, like Nargis began her statement with, it doesn't matter, but it does matter all at the same time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. Narcus, you jump in, please. I know you got a thought. I'm just very interested and concerned, and this could be bigger than Meg Thee Stallion. This could have a lot to do with the two horrific crimes that happened last
Right,
week, right? I'm more concerned about the mental health crisis than, and to me, this is just like a tiny the reaction, not
right,
Klay. The reaction is a small piece of that, a small, tiny piece of that, not the piece. There's better launching points for this conversation than Meg Thee Stallion and Klay, right?
right, right,
But nonetheless, it is sort of a launching point because you see a rack of toxicity around the idea of Megan Thee Stallion, right? Not her fucking with Klay Thompson. It's not like, oh, it was just so many Klay Thompson fans out there that they're just in a battle with Meg Thee Stallion fans, right? This ain't even like a Meek Mill versus Nicki thing. It's not like I'm a Klay fan and you are. It's a this black woman took a L for all the reasons Nargis listed earlier, right? You better than
right,
me in every single way. I hate you. Yes, that's probably been going on for a long time. I'm pretty sure there's people thought that way about Diana Ross, right? But there's just this keeps coming up in different ways. We always end up back to toxicity amongst young men, and that bleeds into older men, right? And in this particular case, we talk about black men who I care very deeply for. So I just get very concerned about it. That's all. That's just where I'm at with it. I get concerned with the level of toxicity, um, not just for a celebrity woman, but for a woman in general. And I can name 1,000 examples that are outside of the stardom of Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, you've seen it happen to just regular black women online. Just getting like it gets really ugly and really nasty. Go ahead, Nargis.
Okay, so I guess back to what y'all originally said about like not liking to be singled out as being rare, different, one of the good ones. As someone, I've said this before on the podcast, I had a lot of male friends. I continue to have really great male friends. And that contributes to, I love my father, I love my brother, love my husband, I love the men in my life. And that contributes to just a certain degree of empathy that I have when I feel like there are these generalized sweeping projections onto black men. And I think sometimes as women, obviously this is a very nuanced conversation, right?
Sure.
A lot of the times, because I talk about this in my female spaces, right? When we are trying to lament or share, especially with some of our elders, regarding needs not being met, right? some of the questions that will come back are, well, is he hitting you? Is he cheating on you? Is he coming home? Are the bills paid? Right? The things that he's supposed to be doing as a provider, is he violating any of those?
Right.
Okay, so he don't want to talk to you like that, or he don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, girl, you got a good one. So it doesn't matter if you don't have he's emotionally distant. He, doesn't necessarily pour in. You guys are not speaking the same language to each other. You have different communication styles. You like to go out. He likes to stay in, whatever. Or something has changed. So now the thing that you were connecting, where you're not connecting anymore, but he's still checking that provider list, right? He's not cheating. He ain't slutting you out. He not doing that. So it's fine. I know enough to know that when we talk about like a fuck nigga, that's the spectrum. You can have you can be with a real loyal fuck nigga based on other behaviors that don't got nothing to do with where he puts his penis. Right? But I think that is how both sides, that's what both sides have been conditioned into. And I'm not saying infidelity is not a big deal. It is. But a lot of the time, I sent y'all a video about this. A lot of the time, infidelity comes out of not communicating needs, wants, interests, and desires.
Yeah.
Right? I remember I was watching an interview with Gerard Carmichael, very open about, his evolution into being an openly gay Black man now, what that means. And he talks on stage about cheating on his boyfriend.
Yeah.
And his boyfriend asked him, like, do you just want to open the relationship up, or do you need them to be indiscretions? That's healthy dialogue.
Yeah.
Right? Do your needs involve requiring the secrecy, the da-da-da? Like, is that, because then that's something that I can't help you with. I need you to go unpack that, but let's have this conversation. And I think what happens in a lot of relationships is we go into them being coached with very specific parameters of what a relationship should or shouldn't be, can or can't be, couple goals and all the things. And then if your thoughts or your feelings, your body, your emotions are drawn in other spaces or interest or curiosities or whatever, or maybe you just don't think you built for this monogamy thing. And I'm communicating that to you. Usually, and I'm even guilty of this in my own relationships, right? When you get the gumption to come and communicate something to me about something you're interested in, something you have a desire for, and that other person does not receive it with love, you receive it as an attack. You receive it as, what am I? I'm now less than because you have this desire. That's where the contention comes in. That's where all the love that you said that you had for me and you was posting on the gram gets thrown over the shoulder, because now I've offended you in some way when I'm trying to communicate to you instead of doing the thing. Right. So again, this is a larger nuanced thing. But I also, I know we've talked about the internet, and niggas been hating women since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
That's why women worry about being raped and murdered once a day, and y'all don't. You know what I'm saying? Like women have been disposable since murder was created. So hate, niggas who hate women, who can't stand women, who don't want anything to do with women, we're just more exposed. They just have more of a platform to comment, but they're not new people. right?
Yeah.
They're serial killers, they're serial rapists, they are abusive spouses, they're all the things. They're children who murder their parents. Like they're here. So, like I said, I know that the internet gives them a broader network and a broader platform. And I think you know, Paul kind of hit on it. Like there are certain ingredients that are giving certain information in the wrong hands to, I guess, breed the mindset of the population. But I think a lot of times I'll backstep because I meant what I said about the nigga in the basement that can't run and can't dunk. Because I know that nigga exists. But I'll also say, as with a lot of us, sometimes we just say shit because motherfuckers want attention. Right? I don't necessarily mean what I'm saying. I don't mean the racist shit that I'm saying. I don't mean the misogynistic thing that I'm saying, but I'm going to say it because I'm going to be a get-wit. I'm doing it to get clickbait because I want people to pay attention to me because I'm sad. That's why I'm on the internet all the time. That's why I'm lonely all the time. That's why I'm so invested in this, because maybe Klay Thompson is my favorite basketball player and I'm wearing his jersey right now and I stand for Klay. And because you are coming for the thing or you're coming for the person who I enjoy watching because I too love dogs and wearing sailor hats or whatever the fuck. And now you're trying to villainize this thing. So now I'm going to come, you know what I'm saying? Like there's still nuances in the niggas don't like women conversation, because not all of them really don't like women. They just don't have the space to work out. They don't have that emotion wheel to like actually build out the other feelings that go into it. So it just comes out as hate.
Right. But if you're cosplaying a nigga that hate women, you just as dangerous as the actual motherfucker that hates women.
Not taking the danger out of the conversation at all.
And so that's what I'm saying. So if we're just creating a bunch of I hate women cosplayers, right, or get-wits, then that's an issue, which I know you agree with. I know both of you agree with that, right? And so, but you said a couple things that you sparked something in my brain, because a lot of times, I think what gets frustrating in this conversation is that black men protecting black women or being good neighbors or family members with just black women just in general is a totally different conversation than how you are in a relationship with a certain individual, right? You could be one of the best dudes in the world. You could be one of the best women in the world and still not be able to handle your relationship properly or relationships properly, right? You could be a bad dater.
Yeah.
That's just what it is, right? Like, and I'm not talking about infidelity. Like, let's just take the worst shit out of it, right?
Right.
Let's talk about, like, you mentioned communication and things like that. Like,
emotional neglect is painful as fuck.
Facts, but
like
that
shit can be a deal breaker. Like financial, that's the thing. Like we think about sexual infidelity. There's financial infidelity. Like there's so many other spectrum. Yeah.
But that's separate from, am I a good citizen amongst people?
Right.
Right. So we take this Klay thing, and because he treated Meg wrong as a boyfriend, now it's an indictment on how it sparks a conversation about how black men are with black women.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And then as much as you want to go, nah, fuck that. And some people, to your point, just kind of get caught up in the surface of it, man. Nah, fuck that. That's crazy. Like, I'm not, what I got to do with Klay and Meg, two celebrities? Why are you coming at me? Because this nigga cheated on this NBA superstar that goes to a different city every day.
I ain't telling him to do it.
With $30 million in his pocket. And a couple of years ago, the nigga scored 40 and a quarter and scored 60 off how many dribbles, Paul? 11?
2.
Okay.
No, 11 3-pointers off of 3 dribbles. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a different type of situation that most dudes would never be in, right? How does that turn into you're the MAGA of, and I'm gonna tell you why. You're the MAGA of black people because of how niggas are reacting to it. So my critique is not towards black women feeling like some type of sister kinship with Megan because all of the reasons we listed before, her mom passed, the Tory Lane shit happened, and you just like her music and you like her, right? Niggas can't just sit back and just let the women have their moment. You have to take it. The men are the ones that's taking it outside of a relationship issue and then turn it into them issue, a black woman issue. And that's why, like, this has nothing to do whether she could have been cheating all on Klay herself. There's no evidence that she was, but let's just say she was. So the fuck what? Why you mad at her? She can fuck every rapper and every celebrity in the world. Madonna did it. So the fuck what?
Shit, the Kardashians
cares?
Do it.
The Kardashian date if you turn into any semblance of a celebrity, not only is there Kardashian, there's a different generation of Kardashian that's going to meet up with you. They still breeding Kardashians and still fucking younger celebrities and shit. They ain't Kim and them are retired. Okay.
Right. It's Kylie and them now.
It's just in them now. Okay. And anyway, and that's fine. Yes, young. So I don't want to talk in circles, Paul, because I feel like I'm personally making the same point over and over and over again. But I do think that the more I'm reminded that it's partially a mental health crisis, partially a fuckboy crisis, and partially just like a get-wit crisis, and they all could combine into one terrible thing, right? The more I just feel like there's just a lot of work to do, and his brother's doing. Shouts to the Burger Bar. Shouts out people that are having men's. There's a lot of men's. There's a lot of stuff out there. You know what I mean? It just really reminds me of how much chipping away in conversations that men need to have with other men. And Paul, you always mention like the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you go to a lot, and you're not wrong for doing that. I think grown men need to be. We just need brotherhood, man.
I agree with that, and really that youth part is really in regard to the internet. That's why why I talk about that because that's an extra layer of influence.
Yes.
Yeah. Thinking out loud and like grappling with like just taking all things personal aside. You know what I'm saying? We do need much more conversation, but I, like sometimes I also want to big up like work that has been done. You know what I'm saying? And like I know how everything that everyone said is 100% correct. One like was 1,000,000% correct. But like I know that like there's still nuance even in both men and women. Like there's nuance in, like you said, that there are guys like Alfred and Brother Vic that do the Burger Bar, and there are like spaces for rare spaces and spaces for men. So like in my mind, I'd like to keep pushing that ideology forward and hoping that we'll keep having these conversations and having some element of balance and nuance for the small group of men that have been taught certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because like honestly, and I can only talk for myself, and I'm trying not to talk for myself. Like, I'm trying not to, because that doesn't serve a full audience. But like I've been taught protection of women. I've been taught it by my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like personally. And I know it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of the full context of the conversation. But I know like for me and my fam and my son and the things that I've taught him, a lot of this is disappointing to even hear. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I thought that the world was a lot better than what it is, and it's not. So yeah, it's just a lot of work that still needs to be done. And sometimes some of the things, just said, some of the things that I know personally is just like disappointing to hear and grapple with. And that's all I got to say on that.
It is disappointing. One last thing. Yeah, man, you know, all those spaces you named are definitely doing the thing. So this isn't a critique of those spaces. But because there are a lot of like male driven podcasts and a lot of podcasts and streams and get togethers that kind of like frame and like brother talk. But are y'all challenging each other? Are you challenging a nigga when he say something wild? Are you really like, cause that's what needs to happen. Really. You know, one thing I can personally say, I'll beat my chest, like, and y'all have actually seen it. When I have a person in my life that I feel like needs some challenging, I will certainly do it. And I think that's a good thing. I've been challenged, right? I've been called out plenty of times. There's this clip. I won't be able to post it on here. If you could find it, fine. It's way too long for me to post it. This is a clip from the 1970s. It's these brothers. I was starting to tell you about it, Paul, but we had to get on the phone. Like, it was like some weeks ago. I was telling you about this. It's this clip of these dudes in the 70s. And one of the dudes had just got home from jail and he found out his old lady had been cheating on him, right? And he going on, he's saying all this violent shit. It's like a circle of dudes, man, like from the 70s, and they using all the 70s. Come on, Jack. I mean, these is like some 70s ass New Yorkers, okay? Like different races of people, you know what I mean? They got the hair, they got the whole thing. But the bottom line, the point of it is that the dude is going on, he's sad. He's basically sad because his wife had left him for another person. And instead of just being able to say, I'm sad, I'm heartbroken, I feel down, I feel low, I'm depressed. A lot of violence was coming out of his mouth. They were asking, well, how do you feel? I feel like I want to kill her, man. I feel like I want to break her neck. You know what I'm saying, Jack? And the dudes would go, well, why the hell would you say? And they weren't talking to him like, well, why would you? They would say, why the fuck would you say that? Cause, man, it was like, and then the one dude was like, man, feel your pain, nigga. Feel your pain. You sad. Say it. Sad. You might as well cry. You know what I'm saying? All of that, right? And that, to me, we need to level it up a little bit, even in the online discourse. We need to level it up. We need to be able to, and I'm not talking about attacking people, but we need to be able to call things out. We need to be louder than the voices of the people who are posting the meme of Meg and her partners. We need to be louder than the goofies. We need to call out the goofies. It matters. You may not think it matters, but it really does matter. And it doesn't just matter to look good for black women. I'm sure it makes black women feel good that they have allies. So that is important. But it also feels good because it's just like a bunch of little kids in a classroom. That one little kid that's disrupted class and the rest of the class go, be quiet. That kid felt like, oh shit, I'm not as cool as I thought I was. I was only doing this, as Nargis said, to be cool, to make y'all laugh, to get some attention. Oh, this isn't cool. We could do that, man. And we could chip away at this, I believe. You know, and again, it's not about Megan and Klay. It's about the relationship between black women and black men. Because if you haven't noticed by now, we need each other like a motherfucker, boy. Now ain't the time to be separated. It just took your voting rights away, Jack. Okay? They just took your voting rights away. I don't know what to tell you. They're gone.
Yeah.
Okay? So now ain't the time to be warm with black women and being envious of black women. It ain't the time. It's never the time. But it's certainly not the time now. Get your shit together, niggas. Get your shit together. Anybody else got anything left on this?
I'm cool.
Right. We'll move on. Let us know in the comments below what you think about Klay and Meg Thee Stallion. We'll be right back. We need a jingle or something for this. We need some type of intro music graphic. We do. Anybody, can y'all help us out with that? Anybody let us know. Y'all make graphics or something. We need something for the millennial moment of the week. All right.
Yeah.
It's our millennial moment of the week. Nargis, what you got?
Okay. So I went down a rabbit hole, y'all.
Okay.
So I was talking to my husband. I was like, hey, this is going to be my millennial moment for the week. Mm-hmm. And he was like, what? Then we just start reminiscing about all things around communications. So I will take you down the train of thought. I said, did you have a Nextel phone? Mm-hmm. He was like, what? I was like, bruh, the chirp? You ain't had a... You ain't do that? You ain't have a NASCAR? I had a NASCAR. I was so spoiled that my mom had actually gotten me a Motorola flip phone for Verizon. And I was like, ooh, but these Nextel phones. And she ended up switching her joint around so she could get she got the phone and then got me the Nextel phone. The best, right? Blue and white, all the things. So I'm telling my husband about this joint. He was like, yeah, nah, cell phones, I ain't really had this. And I was like, man, I ain't have a cell phone till 9th grade. Prior to 9th grade, my mom used to send me out into the world with a bag of quarters.
9th grade, though. She's about 9th grade.
My mom sent me out into the world with a bag of quarters and said, call me when you get to Metro Center and I'll let me know how close you are to Addison Road type situation. So he's like, but, we, growing up in DC, it's like public transit was like more natural. So like when my husband grew up, it was like public transit, it's not necessary. It's not part of culture. I said, bro, you ain't never called 1-800-COLLECT? He's like, no. I said, bro, the phones were there. There's no communicating is monopolized now. Like you have to go to someone and say, hey, my phone is dead. I'm having an emergency. Can I use your phone? And like depend on the kindness of strangers instead of like utilizing public available space. So keep going down the rabbit hole. When starting with the Nokia. Okay, Nokia OG. Then you get the Motorola. You get falling numbers with the Motorola, right? We got real buttons. Then we fast forward. You got
I ain't Snake. Know the history of cell phones.
No,
though.
I know.
I'm with it.
This is the conversation. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. It was just it started as just a chirp, and then it turned into a whole damn mood board. So so we got the phones, right? Finally talk about when things phased out. We was talking about two-way pagers. We was talking about the flip joints that had the keyboards and all of that. Then we started talking about ringtones.
Okay.
When niggas discovered how to go from polyphonic ringtones, it's like, what song is that? To actually figuring out how to get real songs, not only as a ringtone, as a callback tone, as a recording on your voicemail and faking like you picked up. What's up? Hey, hold on. Oh, what's up? What you was saying? Nah, man, this ain't even me, bro. Just go ahead and leave. We was Bamas.
Yeah. That's the bottom line.
Bro. Yeah. Then I was like, yo, you remember when Sprint, because Sprint was a thing. You remember when Sprint was like, all right, you spend me $100 a month, you get everything free. That was the game changer. Even though Sprint ain't, that might be why Sprint ain't around no more because of the merger. But that was when you first, that was when it was like, call me after 6, you're using up my minutes. Text messages cost 10 cents a minute. You end up, you rapping to somebody, next thing you know, you done spent $50 on this one joint you having a conversation with.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. It was a whole time. And I think that's why Nextel was so dope, but they ended up phasing it out because I remember I was in a criminal justice class and the guy was basically saying how the Boost Mobile and all that, like that was literally like perfect for drug dealers.
Yeah.
And public safety people. The public safety people was like, "Oh dear, we've made a horrible mistake."
Yeah, they did a whole season of The Wire about this.
The Wire, and so I was going to bring up The Wire because I'm like, younger generations won't have an appreciation of the impact of The Wire and just the evolution of the communication
the burner
and all
phone.
of that. Exactly. Yeah. So bringing it back to the Nextel, it's a flip phone. Push the button. Had that joint open. Larry used to go around slapping people with his phone in the lounge. And it was literally, that's like one of my fondest, I think that is my fondest phone memory, is my Nextel phone. Like if I think about, I've always, I didn't get iPhone until I had to go to work. So like I've had Nokia, Samsung, little 2-direction keyboard joint, like all of that. I've had all of that. And that Nextel phone, because you just felt like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, not a Power Ranger though. Like a Power Ranger.
I felt like a Power Ranger. Like you didn't have to literally call my phone. It was literally just a walkie-talkie, and it'd be like, "Where you at? Oh, what you doing? Oh, no, I'm doing this." Like,
you just talk on the phone.
Yeah, you just talk on the phone on the walkie-talkie. It's like the original voice note.
Yeah, but you could have just talked to the phone. That's
you
why
could have.
Silly.
Yeah, you could have. No, but then my phone ringing. I gotta go. I gotta call.
Oh, there we go.
So yeah, it was just a time.
No, you good. One thing you good for with these is capturing the 2000s like a bug. And if the 2000s was all about them, it is difficult for a Gen Zer to understand that we had several different phones and all that. It wasn't just like you had just like the iPhone, this, that, another, right? Or whatever the other team do, whatever y'all do. We had all sorts of brands of phone. Narga just walked you down. I want to tell a really quick story, Peaches, like lightning fast. This ain't even a long story, for real. It's not a long story. She brought up ringtones, and they cause you to be pretty stupid. We talked about cheating earlier, right? And they ringtones cause you to be pretty dumb. So I had a little side piece, and I had a girlfriend. And I had a little side piece. And can any of you all guess what ringtone I had for my side piece? I doubt you'll be able to guess. Oh, he didn't cut his camera.
You're my little secret.
That's my sis right there. That is my sis right there. Nigga. That's my sis right there. I had a side piece, and I was dumb enough to make her ringtone "You're My Little Secret" by Skate. Okay? And that's how we should keep it. You want to guess what happened to your boy? I'll let the audience guess. You guessed right, audience. That joint definitely went off in front of the... Wait a minute. I tried this. My cousin, this is her favorite song. You know what I'm saying? And she believed me. That's my story.
Adam? So, no, let me. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get my story up. I had a boyfriend, and then there was another guy on my phone. So disrespectful.
Yeah, niggas was stupid.
His ringtone that he requested. That he requested was that joint. DJ, won't you play this girl a love song?
Yeah. The Jamie Foxx show. Yeah. Again, I want it.
I can tell the things ain't right on the home front.
Yeah.
Does it go off? Does he call me while I'm in my relationship right now?
Of course. course.
Do I silence it? Do I move intelligently in any way?
No. You make up shit.
He just like that song.
Nigga, that's what I'm saying.
I told you he talked to so-and-so. It ain't even.
Hey, that was my cousin. Who is that calling you? Who's your little secret? Man, my cousin, man. I don't know, man. Don't you like that song? Lie.
Just stupid.
Deceit to lie. Yeah.
It's just dumb.
Yep. I appreciate you. I got to say, that was one of the best MSR moments. The fact that you legit guessed what that song was, boy. And that's how we should keep it. You want to guess what happened to your boy? I'll let the audience guess. You guessed right, audience. That joint definitely went off in front of the... Wait a minute. I tried. This is my cousin, young. This is her favorite song. You know what I'm saying? And she believed me. That's my story.
Adam? I'm sorry, Paul. You can go. So... No, let me... Okay, hold on. I'm going to get my story out.
Mm-hmm.
I had a boyfriend. And then there was another guy on my phone. So disrespectful.
Yeah, niggas was stupid.
His ringtone that he requested.
Mm-hmm.
That he requested was that joint. DJ, won't you play this girl a love song?
Yeah. The Jamie Foxx show. Yeah. Get it, I want it.
I can tell the things ain't right on the home front.
Yeah. Yep.
Does it go off? Does he call me while I'm in my relationship right now?
Of course.
Do I silence it? Do I move intelligently in any way? No.
You make up shit.
He just like that song.
Nigga, that's what I'm saying.
I told you he talked to so-and-so. It ain't even.
Hey, that was my cousin. Who is that calling you? Who's your little secret? Man, my cousin, man. I don't know, man. Don't you like that song? Lie.
Just stupid.
Deceit to lie. Yeah.
It's just dumb.
Yep. I appreciate you. I got to say, that was one of the best MSR moments. The fact that you legit guessed what that song was, boy. And y'all know the person. I'm not gonna say it on air. Y'all know the person whose ringtone that was. I'll tell you when we log off. Y'all literally know who was my little secret.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And honestly, the only reason that song came, I'm so glad I'm a better person, yeah.
We grown ups now. That's all. We talking about the 2000s.
This other dude,
he was just wearing bedazzled jeans.
Yeah. This other dude was actually like, he referenced that song because it was like, man, I got a dude I'm kind of talking to, da-da-da. He's like, that's okay. We just going to be each other's little secret. And I was like, are we now?
Yeah, okay. One thing's for sure. It's such a different time. Okay? It's such a different time. Because our relationship with our cell phones, I'm going to try not to get too deep with this because I don't want to, we run the show on time and I'm really not trying to turn this to an hour-long segment. But our relationship with cell phones was just as dependent, but completely different than our relationship with cell phones now. Now cell phones are like these little computers in our pockets. They are a source of entertainment. They're everything. They're like some shit from
they're
that they told us they would be.
They're not as novel. Like,
they're not as novel, but they're so necessary. They're like an actual thing you need in life. You do everything on them, right? Everything you do on your phone, right? Then it wasn't the same. You did a lot on your phone, but it wasn't the same. But they were so fun. Like Nargis mentioned, you could do all these little weird things with your text messages. You could have, we all had different phones. You know what I'm saying? It was completely different and completely just a unique situation. So, hey man, listen, we could talk about cell phones all day. Nargis, this is a really, really, really good one. A really good one. What I want you to do in the comment section below, people, let us know what your first cell phone was and let us know what your favorite cell phone was. And if you had an Nextel chirp, let us know about that as well. All right.